Hello guys, and welcome to the first video of the investment program. Today will be the video of the weekly stock watch list for June 6th through the 10th. These will be raw, unedited videos as we will be going through a lot. And as you can see, I will be posting this on my Instagram. This is the watch list list. So we have 4 tickers here: MU, Apple, Tesla, and HIMS. So obviously we've got a lot to go through. We got through market overview, catalysts, and top sector focuses for this week, why I'm watching it, and then the trade checklist as always. So without further ado, let's get into it. So starting off with the first ticker, MU, we can see MU here has had quite a week with them reporting earnings, and they were up almost 10% on the previous days of the week. But then it ended just shy and it was down 5% on Thursday, excuse me. So obviously this is with the whole stock sell-off, the ETF stocks, the technology sell-off. It just crossed its 20-day moving average to the downside, which is a bearish technical indicator. So if we look over here on the hourly, we can see MU has taken a dip. Is doing well after the earnings, and then took a huge dip along with the entire technology sector. So on my Instagram stock watch list, I have the target at 883. This is this level down here. So if I draw a straight line right here, around this level is 883. So right around here, I'm looking at to the downside. If this technology sell-off keeps happening, you have room all the way down here. And if you pass the 883, you could see it all the way down to around 780. So obviously, anything can happen, so watch your risk. But with the continued selling pressure of MU, it just broke a thousand again. The 1,000 level has been quite a problem for MU in its past couple months. So obviously, with the 1,000 break, you could see it down farther than it was. Next up on our list is Apple. So Apple has had a very strong, very strong day on Thursday, which almost up 5%, as you can see all the way up here. But I have this all the way up to its high here at 317.40. I'm looking for a gap fill about $9. So that's manageable for Apple in a week, considering now that it's a bigger company that moves a lot more. So I'm looking for this about $9 more as it continues to fill this gap right here. It already filled this gap all the way to 302 right here. So we're just looking at that continuation gap fill at 317.40 exact. So obviously with this conviction, it's a 4. I believe very much in this play, and I will be playing this myself probably, and we will just have to see what opens on Monday. But as for Micron Technology, I forgot to mention my conviction level on that was 3. So, I'm not extremely confident, but if we do see the selling side pressure, we could look at a play there. Next up is Tesla. Upside recovery play had a very rough day on Thursday after it reported very strong deliveries. It was up, I think, relatively around 5% on the day, and then ended at almost 8%. Well, 7.5% now. But this is not a very strong play on my list. I just have it here because selling pressure, along with the technology sector, dragged it down almost 8% on the day. But I believe that Tesla can make a recovery here and eventually fill this gap all the way up to 432 this week, as long as there is no bearish catalysts. So we'll be looking to go all the way up to 432 this week. So next up is HIMS and HERS. So please switch HIMS. HIMS and HERS, here we go. Very consolidation type of 30-minute trend. If you go to the hour, it's the same thing. It's going to be consolidating in this area right here. But oh, excuse me, this is QQ or QQQ. My bad for analyzing the wrong stock. But as you can see here, if you go up on the daily, it has been filling this gap slowly but surely. Higher highs, higher lows, fills all the way up to over here. And I believe that this level right here, if you draw the level, the trend line right here, you can see this on the daily go all the way up to this support down here and the resistance up here. So we could see this all the way up to 40.60. I believe this is a very strong play in my opinion, with it being at a 4 on my conviction rate. And the risk level is also 4 though, because Hims and Hers does move a lot and relatively in a day, not maybe in dollar wise, but in percent wise, it does move a lot. If you do see options here, you can see that, you can see that the options can vary from like 30% losses to around like 20% on the other side. So, be careful about that if you're playing with options and also with regular shares. So those are the 4 I have on my watch list. MU 1000 downside level break and selling pressure. I believe that goes to 883. Apple with a continuous gap fill to 317.40, and then Tesla upside recovery play, and then Hims and Hers to 40.60 first target. So market overview. Stocks begin their quarter 2 earnings. So you see up here, let me pull it up. Your earnings, you have a couple right here that aren't as relevant, but you have Penguin Solutions over here, and then you have Levi Strauss, which is a consumer brand. So you get a little insight on consumers. Same with PepsiCo the day after that, Barnes and Nobles, and then you have Delta Airlines, which will be a big catalyst for transportation and inflation. Or not, I'm sorry, what's it called? Imports, tariffs. So with the traveling and how this impacts the market, and then we will see if semiconductors begin to stabilize themselves after the sell-off last week, and then catalyst this week in terms of economic events besides earnings. Fed Chairman Warsh speaks, the new chairman. He'll be speaking on inflation and interest rates. We have ISM manufacturing PMI, non-farm employment. So this is all the employment rates without farm jobs, and then the actual unemployment rate, which will come out Friday. So be careful about that. Top sectors to watch in obviously will be technology, with MU, Nvidia, AMD, Google, all those being dragged down by a lot in the after hour or in the regular hours. So be careful about that. Finance, because chairman will be speaking about interest rates and moving forward, how that will impact the market. So beware to watch the finance sector, as they will also begin their quarter 2 earnings later in the following weeks. Consumer staples, be worried about those because you have Levi Strauss, Delta, and many more reporting in the upcoming weeks. So be careful as these plays get ready to set up this week. And then fourth, energy with the ongoing Iran war and Trump with his tweets. You never know what can happen. So if you're into any oil or energy, be mindful and watch your risk there. And so that's it I have for you guys today. For the week, 4 plays right there: MU, Apple, Tesla, and Hims. Earnings this week, and then obviously the 4 catalysts. You can find any of this online. You can go to Forex Factory and look up the catalyst right there, or you can go to anywhere else and for earnings or catalysts, just look it up. But obviously, thank you guys for watching. This is the first video, so I know I stutter a lot, but I'll have to improve this as time goes on. And then when you're trading, make sure your trend is defined, risk reward, and your stop loss is defined. Catalysts are identified. We already talked about those, so hopefully you know what those are. And an exit point is created when you enter. So be mindful of those 4 things, and then trade plan. Have that. Stay disciplined and consistent, and we'll see you in the markets. See ya.